Hey, this is Susan Velez from SusanVelez.com, and welcome to my YouTube channel where every other Wednesday what I do is I create some type of video that's going to help make the techie side of blogging easy. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, I highly recommend that you take the time to do that right now. In today's tutorial, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the Genesis framework. If you know anything, if you've been following my blog, you know that I've got my personal blog set up on the Daily Dish theme, the child theme of Genesis. And I actually added a back to top button right here. And you'll notice that when you scroll down, you can see it come up right here. And then when someone clicks on it, it'll bring you straight to the top. Now, I'm not a PHP developer and I'm not a designer, but I have managed to do stuff on my own so that I can take care of my own site. And anytime I come up with something that I can share with you guys, I'm more than happy to do it. So if you're using the Genesis framework and you've been wanting to create a back to top button like this, as you know, my blog posts are pretty long, and the last thing I want is for people to have to scroll all the way back to the top. So this back to top button will actually just take them straight to the top. Now, I found this code online, so it's not my code. So if you have any questions or any concerns, all the code is on this site right here that we're going to be using. You'll notice that it says a simple and smooth back to top button. And when you scroll on his page, then he's got a red button right here. So I'm going to walk you through on how I did it on this localhost site right here that I have created just for the tutorials that I do on YouTube. So if you'll notice, it's just an exact clone replica of my live site. The only difference is that it is on a testing site, which if you're not really familiar with WordPress, I recommend that you use XAMPP or MAMP. Those are free. I use desktop server, and I'll have a link in the description for everything that I cover today, as well as the Genesis framework and then the child theme that I'm using, as well as to this site where you would find the code. And just a disclaimer, again, I'm not a PHP developer and I'm not a designer, but I do manage to take care of my own site, and this saves me tons of money from having to outsource these type of things. And anytime I can help you out, I'm going to share the code. Of course, you use it at your own risk, and you take the responsibility if something happens to your site. I'm not responsible. So now that that's out of the way, let's get started. So here we are in my development site, and you'll notice that when I scroll to the very bottom, there is no back to top button right now because we actually have to put it on there. So what we want to do is we want to come over here and we're going to see what the instructions are. You'll notice that right here it says add the first code in your child themes function PHP and the CSS to the child themes style sheet. So this is the PHP, the functions that we're going to be adding to the actual functions. And what I like to do is I'm just going to click on this view raw, and then you'll notice right here at the very beginning of this PHP tag, it's going to say do not copy this PHP part. So we're just going to grab this, we're going to copy it, and then we're going to go to the actual WordPress files. And so here I am inside of my WordPress files of my site, and I'm going to open up the functions.php. So we're going to scroll all the way down, and then I'm going to just go ahead and just make it to where you can't see anything else. So we're going to go right there, and then we're just going to add a comment. We're going to comment it out, and then I'm going to go ahead and type in back to top, because that's what this is, the back to top. So then I'm going to close this comment, and then I'm going to paste that code directly in there, and then I'm going to grab this, and then we're going to go ahead and close out this comments, because I always like to make sure that I know where the comment begins and where the comment ends, so that if I coming back to my functions and I'm looking for some code, I'll know that this code in here has to deal with the back to top. So what we're going to do is we're going to save that. Alright, so the first part is done. Now we're going to come back over here, and you'll see that he actually gives us this whole code, and this is the CSS. So we're just going to grab this, and we're going to go ahead and put this inside of the CSS style sheet. So I'm going to come back to my WordPress files, and then I'm going to come down to the style sheet, and we're going to scroll all the way to the very bottom. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to comment this out, and we're going to put the same thing back to top, style sheet, styles. So, and you can call it whatever you want, whatever makes sense to you. And then we're going to just end that comment, paste that, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually add this media, all this over here, this media with the rest of the media, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as is. But of course, if it's on a live site, you'd want to make this CSS style prettier, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. I'm just showing you how to do this. So we're just going to save this. Now we're going to come back over here, and we're going to go, this is the jQueries. We'll need to create a brand new jQuery or a blank file and add this jQuery. So we're going to grab this, and we're going to grab the whole jQuery. So for this, we're just going to come over here where it says JavaScript, not JavaScript, I'm sorry. Yeah, JavaScript right here. And then what I like to do is I'm just going to open that, and then I'm going to rename this file. And he called it twotop.js. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to save it as twotop.js. So I'm going to just get rid of this, and then we're going to delete that, and we're just going to go to top. So we're going to save this, and then we're going to go ahead and just highlight all this. We're going to delete it, and then we're going to paste that code in. So now we've got all the code pasted in. Now he says create a file twotop.js, which we just did, and then add this code into that. So we just did that. So now we want to download this twotop image and then put it in the child's theme image folder. Well, I've actually already got it created. I didn't want to take the time to do that on the actual video so that it wouldn't take a bunch of time. So we're going to go ahead and right here it says twotop.js. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to go to the actual images right here. And you'll notice that I'm inside of my child theme, and then there's a folder already called images, so I don't have to create that. But what I do need to do is I actually need to place this file into that folder. So we're just going to open up another folder, and then I'm going to come over here to my actual site on the testing site right here, which is the Susan Velez YouTube.dev, which is this site right here that I'm playing around with. And then we're going to go to the actual WordPress content. We're going to go to the themes, and then we're going to go to Daily Dish Pro, and then we're going to go into the images. So what we want to do is we want to grab this, and we're just going to drag it over here. So now we've done everything to here, and it says that's all there is to it. So now you should be able to load your page and see a button appear at the bottom right. So now if we did everything correctly, we should be able to see the back to top button right here. So we're just going to refresh this, and then we're going to see if this comes up. So you'll notice that it does come up, but for some reason the pointer is missing. So we're going to come over here, and then we're going to see what is causing this. So twotop SG images, that's correct. Let's go back into the folder and see why it isn't displaying properly. So we're going to come back over here, and then we're going to go back to the images, twotop.js. Okay, I see what we did. Because I actually uploaded the wrong thing. I actually uploaded the JavaScript file. So we want to delete this. And then we're going to go ahead and open up the window finder, and I'm going to go ahead and come over here back to my desktop. And this is the actual image that I need to upload, not the JS file. I actually uploaded the wrong file. So now we should be able to refresh this, and then it should show up correctly. So as you'll see, now it does show up. So now how do you make it to where it actually matches your website? So what I did for my site is I actually changed this. You'll notice that it says box shadow, and then it says background right here, RGBA. So what you could do is you could actually just come over here and type in your actual background color that you want. Now, I don't really know what the background color is for mine, so let's see. RGBA color picker for hex. 68A725. Now, if somebody knows an easier way to do this, then definitely let me know in the comments below, because as I said, I'm not an actual designer. So what I did on my live site was I actually just did this. I didn't do the RGBA color. I actually just deleted that, and then I added the hex color, which is 68A725, which is my hex color for my website, for my green color on my site. So I did that, and let's refresh this. And then it should change this to a green color to match the rest of my site. So there you go. So that's the way that I did it, and everything works perfectly fine. And as you'll see, that it actually only shows up when you start scrolling. So hopefully this helped you. And like I said, you can actually play around with this and actually go over here and get your RGBA colors, find them online. Like I said, I actually did that for my live site, but for this tutorial, I'm just going to add the actual hex color. So if you have any questions and comments, just leave them in the tutorial in the description below. And as I said, I'll leave all the links to everything that in the description below, as well as to this site right here that you can actually go get the code. And this is not my website. This is somebody else's website that I just found online. But I like showing you these type of tutorials because, as you know, I do a lot of the custom work for myself because I love to save money, and I want to help you save money, and I want to make the techie side of blogging easy for you. So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will talk to you later. Have a great one.